Location edition at Play It Again Sports, one of our lovely sponsors. We are down on Erie Boulevard in the DeWitt Town Center, and we're amongst the gear. If you're watching us on our digital channel, MC Show Digital, on our lovely, lovely platform StreamYard, you'll see that there's equipment behind me and behind Boy Green. We're just about a parsec apart here, sitting at a lovely, lovely table, entertaining you for the next couple of hours. So it's great to be on location. It's great to be out of the studio here for a day, and really, really enjoying that process. Boy Green, good morning. Welcome to Play It Again, my friend.
Wow, look at this. Look at all this different gear we have available, all the weights and the balls and everything. I mean, this is incredible. And Lurch, we haven't done a live show in a hot second, so I think this is something the fans and everything have been sort of waiting for here, Lurch.
Yeah, and I think cool thing too. I mean, again, Play It Again Sports is a sporting goods store where you essentially buy other people's sporting goods. But have you looked at the prices, Boy Green? Have you looked at the shelves? I mean, you can save money. That's the reason you come here. Is not just because you're, buying someone else's goods, but essentially you're saving tons of money. I mean, who wants to buy brand new lacrosse pads when you can get used ones and, get them at half the price or a lot less than you pay in a retail store? So it's a lot of fun to come to a store like this. And if you've never come to Play It Again, well, maybe today's your day. You come on down, you give us a wave, you say hello, and you check out their inventory. And by the way, there's only one way their inventory grows. If you bring your stuff here to Play It Again. That's how inventory grows. The store will be empty if you just come and buy. And let me tell you, they want you to come here and buy, but they also want you to come here and sell. All right, because sell. If you ever saw the movie Trading Places, all right, is also a good thing. So you can bring your gently used sports goods. Obviously, they're in baseball season, lacrosse season, and golf season big time. I saw Sean put out a post the other day. We need more golf stuff. Where's all the golf stuff? So come on, all you golf hacks. I know you got like 3 sets of clubs in your basement. You're doing nothing with them, and you're certainly not getting any money for them. And you think you're going to use them in the year 2035, except they'll be worth nothing by then. You sell them to Play It Again now, and you'll actually get some cash. As a matter of fact, Boy Green, I'm going to tell you, I brought a couple of sets of clubs down about 3 weeks ago to Play It Again. They took all my clubs from me.
Wow.
I thought some of them were vintage, but they were good enough for Play It Again to take them. Because I've bought quality clubs over the years.
Well, vintage sounds like a fancy word for old. That's what I want to pick it up there.
Well, these were old but good.
Old but good.
Also, I'm a person that takes care of things, so that all kind of helps me in that gently used world, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But anyway, long story short, I got some money for him. Guess where that money's going? Right into our Pittsburgh trip.
There you go. Beautiful.
I just put that cash in the old sock drawer, and I was like, all right. I got a little money for the trip now. Got some spending cash, Maybe I can afford a hot dog and a beer, at that beautiful park in Pittsburgh.
Maybe one. I don't know on the money there. And I would also.
Oh, look at this!
Oh, wow!
Sean is just handing me something. I'll bring this up on our video. Nice. You can all see the logo on here.
Our video
Scotty Cameron putter in the house here. And Play It Again. Excuse me. It's not just junk. It's not just junk.
Yeah.
Okay. It's other people's used stuff. In some cases, high quality stuff. Why, go pay $8, $9, $1,000 for a Scotty Cameron putter.
Right.
You might be able to get it for a lot less here at Play It Again.
Well, I'll tell you this, Lurch. While I'm glad that you got a pile of money and they're just backing up the Brinks truck for all your old golf stuff. The fact of the matter for me, the thing that does it for me, because I'm such a wonderful person, is I like the heartwarming feeling I get from Play It Again. It's in the name. I'm able to give second life to the gear that I have.
So you like helping people, is what you're saying.
That's exactly it. I got to use it. For
good.
Me or my kids, and then I'm able to give it back to Play It Again so someone else can get life out of it. And sure, I get a chunk of change, but that's not the most important thing. It's about Play It Again, and that's what we're able to do. It's beautiful.
All right. Well, look, Sean's going to join us around 11 o'clock. He's the owner of Play It Again here in Syracuse. It is a franchise, by the way. It's in other cities. So if anybody digitally is watching from another city, see if you have a Play It Again in your neighborhood, in your city. It's a great place to go to save some money on your used sporting goods. So go do it today. Go see our friends at Play It Again. All right. We're here at Play It Again, but we're here to, of course, do our regular show and talk sports. A lot going on this week. First of all, we have 2 fabulous guests coming up on the show today. Jim Roy will join us. Jim Roy, golfer extraordinaire, spent time on the PGA Tour, spent time on the Senior Tour, and he's our golf insider. U.S. Open this week at Oakmont in Pittsburgh. Very, very challenging course. I was reading some stuff yesterday that, the players come and they play some practice rounds, Boy Green. apparently, I don't know if Rory McIlroy wanted this to get out, but he shot an 81 in one of his practice rounds at Oakmont. So to say that course is going to be a challenge, well, that kind of puts an emphasis on that of how hard that course is going to be. So Jim Roy is going to talk to us about the U.S. Open. He has played in U.S. Opens, and I believe he's played Oakmont. We'll find out for sure, but I think he has played Oakmont, but I don't want to speak for him, so we'll find out when we speak to him at around 10:30 today. That'll be a live interview with Jim Roy. And then at 11:30 today, it's our NBA insider, Sean Devaney. The NBA is back in action finally after a few days on the beach, dare I say. I always say this NBA Finals, they stretch it out too far, but a couple of days off. And now in Indiana, it'll be the Pacers trying to take back the lead in this series. They won game one, lost game two. So we'll see if the Pacers can now win at home as they did what they needed to do. They split with OKC on the road. And so let's see if they can keep the ball rolling here and get this series to 2-1 in favor of Indiana. So we'll see. Big challenge. OKC looked really, really good in game number 2. So there you have it. Okay, a little bit of action in terms of what's going on. The NHL won't play until I'm sorry, NBA plays tomorrow night, Boy Green. I'm wrong. I'm a day ahead. NBA plays tomorrow night. I think it's NBA tonight, NHL tomorrow night. Is it NBA tonight? All right, correct me if I'm wrong. Why am I thinking it's Thursday that the NBA plays again? I think it's tonight. I think you're right. They played on Sunday, right? Yeah. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They're playing tonight. Okay. I'm sorry. I take it all back. I take it all back. There you go. And then Stanley Cup tomorrow, so then you spread it out. Okay. All right. So there you go. All right. So look, all that's on the table as well, and much more as we get things rocking and rolling here on a Wednesday. We've made it all the way to June 11th. It's Hump Day, by the way. So we get over the hump and on to the other side. Fun stuff there. So what's the latest and greatest, Boy Green? What you been up to?
Well, first off, I want to give a shout out to all our visual viewers because MC Show Digital, baby. We're doing both the radio show, which all of you are hearing in the same normal radio way, but also we're streaming live on the MC Show Digital YouTube page. That's at MC Show Digital, my YouTube page at BoyGreen25, and MC Show Digital on Instagram, the IG, the gram. Lurch your hip, okay? I'm not talking about you've hurt your hip. You are hip, and we've got this going on. This is absolutely terrific. So I'm doing amazing. It's great to be here at Play It Again Sports Syracuse. It's great to be back on the road. And Lurch, you talked about it earlier. I can't remember if it was yesterday or the day before, or some point this week. You were just so thankful. We look back occasionally at that COVID era a couple of years ago. And then we see it now where we're able to go out and do these things that perhaps we took for granted before doing some of these live shows. So, no, I try to save the flavor and enjoy these more than ever before.
Yeah, we should. It's a lot of fun. So it's good to be out on location. It's good to be not standing 6 feet apart and all that kind of stuff. So we're past that era, thank goodness. Let's hope it never comes back in our lifetime. And we are rocking and rolling, talking some sports here on a Wednesday. Look, normal situation here. I mean, so yes, we're on digital, but we are also doing our radio show live. So this is a dual broadcast. So phone calls welcome, 315-671-1260 on the radio side of things. Can people comment? Yeah, they can comment.
They can, absolutely. Side, sure. Right? Yeah.
So yeah, you can comment and pipe in on the digital side, and we will read your comments and bring in, maybe even pop you up on our screen.
Sure.
Kind of a cool little element that we can do here as we're live both digitally and on radio. All right, so game 3, Boy Green. Let's get into it. NBA tonight, back in Indiana. You've been on OKC's bandwagon this whole time. I've been a little more differential. I've been kind of like, I think OKC probably wins this series, but there are elements of this Indiana team that just keep getting overlooked time and time again. And I believe they're going to make it a series. I think this thing's going 6 or 7. I said OKC in 6 at the beginning of this. I'm going to stick to those guns. But give me your thoughts. What are your thoughts about whether the series can go deep now that they split the first two? Are you feeling any more of that? Do you think this is gentleman's sweep and off we go?
I'm a little more nervous, and the reason why I'm more nervous is because game 1, Pacers win, and as Bud loves to point out earlier in the week, that the Pacers took their first lead with 0.3 of a second remaining. Tyrese Halliburton continues to do Tyrese Halliburton things, and it's been incredible. And then we see game 2, and it was just a lot more decisive. And we've seen this from OKC throughout the playoffs, where they respond to adversity and, quite frankly, respond emphatically. And that's what we saw with a dominant win over the Pacers in game 2. So that's what gets me to say the Thunder were a better team all year long. And now they just flexed their muscles and smacked around the Pacers in game 2. it gives me gentlemanly swept vibes. I'm going to be honest. Now, if Indiana wins tonight, obviously it at least goes 6, and all of a sudden we start getting some juice here. That's sort of what I want to see from the Pacers. I want to see life. I want to see fight, and of course they'll be in Indiana, so I'm sure that's going to help too.
The thing is, like the national media, the pundits, the talking heads, we see them on television, listen to them on the radio and in the digital world. They're all don't believe in Indiana. And this is exactly how it went down in the Knicks series. Nobody believed in Indiana. Everybody thought the Knicks were the better team. And then Indiana just kept proving it over and over again. I think that they get all the whiteboard material in the world, okay, when everyone rips them, when everyone keeps saying, it's going to be a sweep. Oh, now it'll be a gentleman's sweep. This is all good fodder for Rick Carlisle, who's an awesome coach, and Tyrese Halliburton, who was named the most underrated player in the NBA, and since then has arguably been one of the best players in the NBA. I mean, maybe he's not quite up to SGA's level in terms of night in, night out scoring, but what he is he's a really good team player, and he continues to hit clutch shot after clutch shot. So you can't complain about a guy like that. That's what I want on my team, especially in the playoffs. Give me a guy that's unselfish, that shares the ball, and then hits big shots when I need him. Give me a little Jalen Brunson. I mean, frankly, he's kind of turned into another version of Jalen Brunson, and that's the kind of guy I want on my team. So that's why I like Indiana. I just think they have this moxie of us against the world, and people keep giving them the dialogue to continue. Like, it didn't just stop at the beginning of the series or after they won game 1. After game 1, people saying, it'll still be a gentleman's sweep. So I think Indiana still has a lot to play for. I think Indiana is still an angry team in a lot of way, and they've got plenty of whiteboard material. I think they're going to continue to use it.
The thing we're going to need to see is other people stepping up to the plate. Obviously, Halliburton has to be good because he's the straw that stirs the drink on Indiana. But we saw it throughout the Knicks series. We had Pascal Siakam games, and hey, he ended up being the conference finals MVP of the Eastern Conference Finals Championship series. And now, is there a Naismith sighting? Is there someone else that can step up and make an impact? Because OKC is ferocious defensively, one of the best defensive teams according to the analytics. Quite frankly, we've seen SGA offensively. He is, Lurch, when you join lists that include Michael Jordan, Wilt Chamberlain on 30-plus point games and consecutive games in a row, you just bring yourself to another level. And quite frankly, that's what OKC has done. And they have checked off everything off the bucket list. The only items that's missing is winning a championship. And for those who don't know, formerly the Seattle Supersonics, Seattle has won a championship, but I hear OKC fans don't recognize that one.
Yeah.
They want their own championship. So technically in the record books, this would not be the first championship, but perhaps maybe it would because OKC themselves have never won one of those championships.
You like that rule? I mean, we've talked about that over the years. It's funny when we've had trivia questions and we've counted up championships or who are the franchises in the NBA that have never won one. Then we got to go back into that crazy annals of history. Well, when they were the Baltimore Bullets, they won one, when they were the, the Minneapolis Lakers, I don't know if I like that. I think championships should be designated to city, not to, okay, the Browns moved, over here to Baltimore, but they won one over here, therefore it counts. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's the city that's beleaguered. We saw it with Knicks fans not too long ago. I mean, it's been since 1973. That city is hungry for a championship. That hunger comes from not having it there. If they had it from some other franchise, it was in another city for a while and then came back to New York. I know that didn't happen with the Knicks, but you get my point. It's like we didn't win a championship. We didn't have a parade down the Canyon of Heroes. We didn't have any of that. We're dying for another championship. We want to have a parade. We want to, drink a few brewskis and throw some confetti. That's what cities want. So OKC's never had the chance to do that. I don't like that nonsense. I understand the record books are the record books. They should change that thought about a team being in a particular city and whether that team has ever won a franchise.
Well,
ever won a championship, excuse me.
Right. And because if we're being honest, the Pacers never won a championship, and OKC really hasn't won a championship. So that should really be a storyline for these finals that, quite frankly, I don't get a lot. So, that's definitely, something we should do.
Yeah. One of our commenters mentioning a little bit about TJ McConnell going off in this series. I mean, he's an interesting player. Here's another guy. He's like a hustle guy, comes off the bench, very unselfish. You see him, he's like a gnat on defense. He's not even a particularly big guy, but he's this gnat and he's swatting at you and kind of getting after you a little bit. I love players like that. The Knicks kind of have one in Josh Hart. Hart is a very, incomplete player, but he does all the little things. And McConnell's one of those guys. The Pacers have used him exquisitely. Rick Carlisle has used him brilliantly off the bench for the Pacers. He is an impact guy. He's not going to put up 20 points likely. You're probably lucky if you get kind of 10-ish from him, but he's going to hit a big three when you leave him wide open. He's going to get in the paint and wreak some havoc, and he's going to create some turnovers. I love players like TJ McConnell. Those kind of guys, and that's kind of what is the moxie of the Pacers, is they're this deep team, and they bring these kind of interesting tool guys. They have one or two tools, they bring them off the bench, and then they focus on those little things that I do well. When I'm out there on the court, they do it really well.
Which makes a lot of sense. And again, so we'll see. TJ McConnell's been an annoying gnat in Pacers past. I really hate that guy. But hey, for the Pacers, it's one of those perfect scenarios where he's the perfect teammate for you. But if he was on the other side, you hate his guts.
Yes, and I hated him when the Knicks were playing the Pacers. I was like, oh, that guy is so annoying. Get that guy out of our hair. Yeah, he's a gnat, as I call it. Gnats. Gnats. There's these bugs down.
For sure.
I spent a vacation time down in a place called Sanibel and Captiva. A lot of people probably know of Sanibel and Captiva. If you've never been there, they were ravaged by a hurricane a few years ago that hit Fort Myers Beach and the Fort Myers area. Well, Sanibel and Captiva are two little islands right off of Fort Myers. You just go over this big long bridge and you're in Sanibel. And then if you continue up the road through Sanibel, which is not really all that big a place, maybe a place you could drive through in 15 minutes or something, then you go over a second bridge and now you're on Captiva Island. And in those two places, Boy Green, down in Florida, the swampland of America, right? They have a bug called no-see-ums. Have you ever heard of a no-see-um?
I have not. No, I have not.
Spelt kind of exactly like that. It's like N-O and then S-E-U-M-S, right? No-see-ums, all right? I don't know if it's the official name of that bug, but they're a gnat, and they're a biting gnat. So first of all, they call them no-see-ums because they're so small, so you don't really see them. Then they land on you, and they bite you, and they're nasty little bites, and it can be overwhelming because you can't see them. You see a mosquito on you, you can get them quick maybe if you're fast enough. These bugs land on you so quick and bite you before you know it. You have 5 bites on your arm. So no-see-ums. That's what TJ McConnell reminds me. Okay. He's a no-see-um.
That's a good comp. I like that. I like that.
If you've ever been down to that part of the country, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
And by the way, real quick, I see Jamie, who I've now showed how to access MC Show Digital.
Get out of here. Jamie's digital now? Jamie the FedEx guy's gone digital.
The FedEx guy. Oh, my goodness. Hi there, fellas. There's Jamie and his new YouTube profile helped him make yesterday. He's part of the digital world. Shout out to Johnny Boy, also on our YouTube page. Again, we're streaming live on our YouTube page at MC Show Digital. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, at BoyGreen25 on my YouTube page, and on the MC Show Digital Instagram page at that same handle, at MC Show Digital. Make sure you guys show that love there. And of course, obviously, we're on the radio show, the Score 1260 as well.
Yeah, you see, when we used to do live remotes, I mean, it's just, we're just doing an audio version of our show. So today we have both an audio and a video version going on. So if you're on the digital side, you can watch us on your phone. You can take us and be portable. If you're on the audio side, obviously, you can listen to us on the Score 1260. And very excited to be doing both things now when we come out and do some of our remotes at our wonderful sponsors. And today, again, we're at Play It Again Sports in DeWitt. It's the Syracuse version of Play It Again Sports, a franchise that might be in a city across the nation that maybe you live in. Check it out. They sell gently used sporting goods, and it's a great place to save money. It's also a great place to contribute your used sporting goods. So try to do it today. All right, Boy Green, we got a great show. As I said, Jim Roy coming at 10:30. So I want to get some space in there for Jim. Our NBA insider, Sean Devaney, coming up at 11:30. Always fun to talk to Sean. You don't want to miss that conversation. We always have a great time with him. All right, so we're going to go out to a commercial break here. If you're on the digital side, just going to kind of put up a little moniker, shut off our mics, have a little chit chat in between, and then we'll be back in another minute or two and continue the show. So Manchild Show with Boy Green, Score 1260, score1260.com, and the Score 1260 app. Also on the Manchild Show with Boy Green Digital.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Hey, 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 it's Bud and the Manchild. 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 Bringing you the best in sports, talking about the ups and downs, take it to a higher level, turn up the sound. Hey, 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 it's Bud and the Manchild. 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 Bringing you the best in sports, talking about the ups and downs. Take it to a higher level, turn up the sound now. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Hey, 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 it's Bud and the Manchild. Hey, 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 it's Bud and the Manchild. Hey, 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 it's Bud and the Manchild. Hey, hey, hey.
All right, we are back. Manchild Show with Boyd Green, Score 1260, score1260.com, and the Score 1260 app, and at MC Show Digital on our YouTube channel, running it through our StreamYard program. For any of you that are joining us digitally, welcome aboard. We're back video-wise. Again, we're out to commercial breaks. You'll just see a little moniker up there that we'll be right back, so hang with us through the break. We are at Play It Again Sports. We're live remoting today in Syracuse in the DeWitt Town Plaza. We're going to have the owner of Play It Again Sports Syracuse, Sean Hines, on with us at 11 o'clock today. We've got Jim Roy coming up your way in just a few minutes to talk U.S. Open, which begins on Thursday, tomorrow at Oakmont in Pennsylvania, just outside of Pittsburgh. Gorgeous course. A course once, Boyd Green, that had hundreds and hundreds of trees and now is completely bereft of trees, other than on the outer perimeter of the course.
Why is
so
that?
if you look at the course, they have turned Oakmont into essentially a links-style course.
So why did they get rid of the trees?
You'll have to ask the superintendent of Oakmont that question,
All
Boyd
right.
Green. I mean, the thought was that they could make the golf course better by doing that, and in some ways make it more challenging. I mean, you have to remember, they call Pennsylvania Penn's Woods for a reason, Boyd Green.
I never heard that name,
Yeah,
but okay.
Penn's Woods is a nickname for Pennsylvania,
Okay.
and it stands for that, Pennsylvania has lots of woods. We have lots of foresty areas
Makes
in
sense.
Pennsylvania, right? You ever drive through Pennsylvania? What do you see alongside the highways? Nothing but woods, woods, woods. So Pennsylvania has a lot of trees and a lot of woods, and Oakmont was once that way. It was a tree-lined course that, had shape into it and so on and so forth. And then all of a sudden, somebody came in and said, hey, this is not a bad idea. Let's remove some trees from this golf course. And suddenly the removal of a few trees turned into, hey, let's just get rid of them all. And so I guess they brought in some bulldozers or something, and they just basically said, trees be gone. And so thousands of trees were just removed. And now if you look at an aerial, and I was just looking at some aerial shots of the course a couple of days ago in preparation for this U.S. Open, you see the trees around the perimeter of the whole space, but in the center of it where all the holes are, and they're zigging and zagging, there are no trees. There's just these beautiful bunkers and these sandy waste areas. And it looks, dare I say, a little more like a British Open style course, a links style course, because it is wide open. There are no trees to get in your way. But what is hard are the undulating fairways, the very, very sloped greens, and the narrowness of the fairways. Again, when you play in the U.S. Open, okay, and all golfers that play in a U.S. Open that are professionals know this, they generally try to make it the hardest course that you play of the year. So they're narrowing the fairways. They're speeding up the greens. They're putting pins in difficult positions, all to try to find the best golfer in the field, to designate the person who can hit it the straightest, who can putt it the best, who can get it in positions on the greens the right way, so that, again, they can have some success.
So, Lurch, what golf major is this?
This is the U.S. Open.
No, I mean like the number. Which one?
It's the third. Oh, the third now. It used to be the second, but now they moved the PGA up. So we've had the Masters, we've had the PGA, and now we are having the U.S. Open. The last one will be the British Open.
So, what about the results of our fantasy draft? Would you like to recap that? Who's
why are you asking me to do that? I'm surprised. It should be the other way around. You are asking me to gloat about my greatness in picking golf winners.
Why not?
Yes, it's. We're going to do this with Jim Roy, who'll join us in just a few minutes. All right, our golfing insider. But for every major, we have Jim on, usually the day before the tournament starts. It starts tomorrow. And we each pick 3 golfers. Boy Green picks 3, the Manchild picks 3, Jim Roy picks 3. And it's like a fantasy draft, all right? We do a little, what do we call it again? The step ladder? Snake draft.
Snake draft, yeah.
So first, second, third, then the third guy who picks third goes first in round 2, and then the guy who picks sixth goes first in round 3. All right? So we'll do another snake draft. And we do it for every major. We've been doing this for at least 5 years, something like that.
Yeah, for sure.
And basically the deal is, if your guy wins, you get 3 guys. If any of your guys win, you win. If nobody's guy wins, then it's a point system based on where your 3 guys finish. So if you get a guy that misses the cut, you're going to be in some trouble in terms of qualifying to beat the other 2 guys. So you want all you guys to make the cut for sure, and then you want them to place very, very high. So yes, so far this year, Boy Green, great to point it out. So far this year, the Manchild is 2 winners for 2. I picked the winner of the Masters, Rory McIlroy, broke the streak, got his Grand Slam. Then he went on all the Tonight Show and all the shows, and I said, there's no way I'm taking him for the U.S. Open because I won the first one. I had the first pick in the second one. Jim Roy tried to throw me off the scent. McIlroy's really good at the Quail
I heard
Hollow.
that. Yeah. I heard the gamesmanship there. Very nice.
I'll just take the best golfer in the world, Scotty Scheffler, here in Major 2, and Scotty Scheffler delivered. So I'm 2 for 2. No one has ever done, dare I say, the annual slam.
The golden sombrero.
Yeah,
sure.
That's not the golden sombrero.
Yeah, where you get all 4 and you go 4-0.
The golden sombrero.
Well, we have that in football. That's what we call it on the NFL on Fox.
Oh, really?
Football slate. Yeah, you get the golden sombrero and you wear it when you go undefeated.
There's a baseball term for the golden sombrero.
There is.
I
got to look that
it's
up.
A positive thing. I think it's striking out 4 times in a game, something like that. It's called the golden sombrero. So yeah, look that up. Colloquialism for right. Batter strikes out 4 times in a game.
That is wow. So that's so funny.
I'm not going for the golden
batter
sombrero.
Striking out 4 times in a single game. So there you go. But the crazy thing is that in football we talk about it for a good thing. Wow. So different strokes, different.
I thought
folks.
produce guys they were out and about. Bill, the produce guys wandering around the store here.
Why wouldn't he come? He knew we were coming. Yeah.
Yeah, he knew we were coming, so he's coming. Thank you for coming, first of all, Bill.
Yeah.
Oh, he's on
lunch
a break.
break.
Okay, he's on
lunch
a lunch
break for Bill the produce
This
guy.
guy starts at like 5 in the morning, so his lunch is at 10:30.
Well,
4 in the morning.
I mean, it makes sense. What better place would you go for lunch than play it against Sports Syracuse? It makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of delicious sales.
So he's
here
browsing around.
Yeah.
People aren't going to be able to hear you, Bill, but are you looking for something in particular? Maybe we can direct you in the store somewhere. No, you're just mulling around?
A little bit.
Okay, some drivers.
Get some
that makes
gear.
sense. Sure. Okay.
And might you have some gear in your basement or your garage that maybe you want to, give to these folks?
Yeah, some
Flipping?
They got a little bit old, some older golf clubs. They're possible.
Okay,
Try
possible.
to bring them in because I had some X16 Callaways. These are pretty old clubs. I was like, whoa, these are many generations back, but it's still a very, very good club. I would play with those clubs today. If something was wrong with my current clubs, I would go back to those clubs in a minute. I brought them in. I got good cash for them. So don't bring in your persimmon woods. If you have a persimmon wood collection, leave that at home. I actually found one in my basement. I was like, I'm not bringing it to those folks that played again. They are not taking my persimmon wood.
There you go.
But yes, you can bring your stuff. All right. Sure. Bill, good to see you, man.
Yeah, good to see you, Bill.
Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, man.
And we'll, no, we won't see you for the fantasy draft. I guess we won't.
I guess not for that one. We'll see.
To the Champs League, right?
We'll see.
I feel bad for him. He's such a good contributor.
Okay.
Right. Bill, the produce guy, hanging out here.
Beautiful.
At the Play It Again Sports. All right. I don't want to be late for Jim Roy, so we will take a break here, and we will come back. And for all you U.S. Open lovers, get ready for a great conversation. Jim, a former PGA Tour pro, he's our Central New York golfer extraordinaire. We're going to bring him in, and we're going to talk some Oakmont and the U.S. Open, and we're going to do our fantasy draft.
Ooh.
You and Roy have only one way to get this thing into some kind of tiebreaker, Boy
yeah.
Green, and that is you got to pick winners for both the U.S. Open and the British Open. So good luck with that.
Okay.
I'm just trying to hang around and win on some points right now.
Sure.
But I wouldn't mind the, I don't know, not the golden sombrero.
I guess we got to come up with a new word, I guess.
The platinum picks thing or something. I don't know. I got to come up with
Okay,
a name.
we'll work on that.
No golden sombrero.
Okay, fair enough.
Just trying to get the career picks. I mean, not the career pick slam, the annual picks slam.
I see.
Right?
Okay.
Get all 4 trophies on my mantle, so to speak. All right, picking the winner.
Fair enough.
Each of the 4 majors. I'm 2 for 2. I got 2 more to go. U.S. Open may be the most difficult one to pick of them all. We'll have to see if the Manchild can strike gold, Jerry. Gold with this one. All right.
We'll see.
We'll take a break. We'll come back. Jim Roy up next. Stick around. This is the Manchild Show with Boy Green. Score 1260, score1260.com, and the Score 1260 app.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Hey, 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 it's Bud and the Manchild. 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 Bringing you the best in sports, talking about the ups and downs. Take it to a higher level, turn up the sound. Hey, 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 it's Bud and the Manchild. 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 Bringing you the best in sports, talking about the ups and downs. Take it to a higher level, turn up the sound. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Hey, 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 it's Bud and the Manchild. 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 Bringing you the best in sports, talking about the ups and downs. Take it to a higher level, turn up the sound. Hey, 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 it's Bud and the Manchild. 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 Bringing you the best in sports, talking about the ups and downs. Take it to a higher level, turn up the sound. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey,
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Hey, 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 it's Bud and the Manchild. 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 Bringing you the best in sports, talking about the ups and downs. Take it to a higher level, turn up the sound. Hey, 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 it's Bud and the Manchild. 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 Bringing you the best in sports, talking about the ups and downs. Take it to a higher level, turn up the sound. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Hey, 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 it's Bud and the Manchild. 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 Bringing you the best in sports, talking about the ups and downs. Take it to a higher level, turn up the sound. Hey, 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 it's Bud and the Manchild.
Manchild Tour with Boyd Green Digital as well, and we are really playing around today with the video feed. Boyd Green is like producer, co-host.
Into this, you want to feel you're coming in right there, inside.
You might get a little shaky video.
Yeah.
But Jim Roy,
Jim, can you hear us?
how are you, buddy?
I can hear you guys now. You went a little fancy on me here, Jim.
We did.
We did, yeah.
I'm actually here at Bellevue with
Oh.
a Syracuse legend working on some wedge game. So if I gave you his nickname, I would assume you're going to be able to know who it is, right?
Yeah, let's hear the nickname. Yeah.
How about Sweet D? Come on.
No, that's not right.
Is he too young? Syracuse Hall of Famer, Syracuse basketball player.
Okay, Lurch, do you have a counter?
So it's not Dennis.
What'd you say? I didn't hear your first one.
His first guess was Dennis Duval.
Well, there you go. I did. I
Okay,
knew you'd
got
get
it,
it
you
on the
got it.
first guess.
My whole life here, and I didn't know it was Dennis Duval.
I just didn't hear your response.
Oh,
Geez,
that's okay. There you go.
Moment averted here.
Yeah, there you go. Very nice.
Yeah. No. I knew. I set you up for success there. I knew you'd know who
Dennis
it
is
was.
a great guy. Dennis is a great guy. I've met Dennis many
Yep.
times. He's been on the radio show a couple of times with us over the years. And tell him we said hello. I hope he hits him straight.
He can hear you right now. He's actually hitting the ball quite nice. So it's
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, motivate.
Yeah,
Well,
we're
sorry
doing
to
good.
disturb your lesson, but we've got a radio/digital show to do here, and
Yep.
the U.S. Open starts tomorrow. I heard Rory McIlroy shot an 81 in one of his practice rounds, so we could get into that a little bit later. But let's talk a little bit about Oakmont and the difficulty of the U.S. Open.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is a course that I did play, and I did play it in the U.S. Open in 1983. And I also played in the U.S. Amateur there when I got my amateur status back. I think it was around 2005 or 2007, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Oakmont is really, really hard, and it looks like it's going to be really hard this week.
Have you ever played the course? I was saying I thought you might have.
Yeah, I played in the U.S. Open in 1983 when Oakmont still had trees, and then I went back and played in the U.S. Amateur there in the like 2007 or so, and they didn't have any trees. So I have played it in both with both conditions.
So, Jim, let me ask you real quick. Do you know why there isn't trees? Why?
Well,
yeah, why'd they remove the trees? Yeah,
I think they wanted to go back to the original layout when it was this first designed. And I'm sitting here at Bellevue Country Club, and there's pictures of Bellevue when it opened up, and there was maybe 5 or 6 trees on the property. And of course, through the years, we all planted trees, and the Oakmont membership and powers to be there wanted to restore the course to its original design. And so over a period of about, I think, 4 to 7 years, they just kept removing all the trees. And I don't know how many thousands that was, wow, but it was a lot.
Yeah, because when you look at aerial, Jim, I was looking at some aerial shots of the course this week, and you can see around the perimeter are all the trees. But inside the golf course, there's virtually no trees. And like you said, it was thousands of trees. I mean, we don't call Pennsylvania Penn's Woods for no reason.
Right. And now you can you can see from the clubhouse, I think they said you can see 17 of the 18 greens from the clubhouse.
Wow. 17 of the 18 greens you can see from the clubhouse?
Yep.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Do you like courses where they've taken down trees? I know it turns it into more of a link-style course. Do you think that what they've done at Oakmont has done it justice, or are you a believer that they should have left it the way it was when you played it back in '83?
I love trees on a golf course, but I do see their point. And we have removed trees here at Bellevue over the last number of years. Because you get these clumps of, let's say, pine trees. They plant 5 or 6 close to each other, and through the years, they're just it actually hurts the growth of the grass, and they don't get enough circulation, and it probably stunts the trees as well. So Bellevue, which of course I've played a lot more times, I think looks great that they've taken out some of the trees, and we're certainly still a tree-lined golf course, but it's the rough gets healthier. I do like the idea of removing some trees when through the years they've just kind of gotten too big, and I think it's better for the average golfer. I mean, Oakmont, I don't know if I really like it that there's no trees at Oakmont. That does I would like to see probably somewhere in the middle, right? I mean, air it out a little bit, but I still think part of the beauty of golf and shaping shots off of trees, and it kind of helps that way. But I think it's going to be unbelievable to watch on TV. The rough just looks brutal.
Yeah, well, U.S. Open rough, narrow out the fairways, they grow in the rough. What about, this one very iconic image at Oakmont, and that is the Church Pew bunker. Have you ever been in there? And tell us about the Church Pew bunker and what the visual is like for people.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So you play it 2 holes in a row, because the other hole, number 4, I think it is. Yeah, they're on the left side also. So, yeah, I've been in the Church Pew bunker, and
and
yeah,
go down there.
No, I didn't. It only took me
for Jesus or what?
Well, you are likely to say a prayer when you're in there, but I got it out, and it's I didn't hit any spectacular shot, but I didn't leave it in. So I mean, you can actually you can get in the little pews, if you will, or the railings of the pews in that deep rough, and that can sometimes even be worse.
Oh my goodness!
But yeah, Oakmont, when I played in '83, the rough was unbelievable too, and it was for the week, I hit an 8-iron one time out of the rough, and every other time I took a sand wedge and hacked it out back in the fairway.
Oh, God.
And I think the rough looks healthier and stronger this year. So I don't know what the score is going to be. I mean, most of they're kind of predicting an over par winner, but we'll see. Because we're not even talking about the greens. The greens are probably the hardest greens in tournament golf.
Let's talk about that. What makes those greens so difficult? I mean, we've seen the potato chip-like nature of Augusta. There are other courses, Shinnecock, with those very small and undulating greens where the ball rolls off. If you just don't get it in the middle of the green or wherever the flag is, it can just roll off the green. What makes Oakmont's greens so difficult? You say among the most difficult out there.
Well, they're fairly big, but they slope in all different directions. Obviously, they're very quick. There was I don't know if you guys saw this on the Golf Channel. They do these live from Oakmont. There was a guy that putted on the first hole. He putted it from like 200 yards away from the fairway. It's that far downhill.
Wow. And
he putted it. And when it got to the green, it actually kind of picked up speed and it ended up going over the green. And I'm telling you, he didn't even swing that hard at it. So you have a lot of shots. Number one's a good example where it slopes away from you. So if you're coming out of the rough, even if you have a good lie, you're not going to hold that green. You're going to have to take a chance at hitting it maybe 40 yards short of the green, and maybe it'll stop.
Yeah.
I remember watching Tom Watson hit a putt that took like 55 seconds or something to stop from 30 feet. So they're undulated. They slope in all different directions. You have the second hole there. You're going to see people spin it off the green there with a wedge, and it'll go 40 yards off the green. And
wow.
They're going to have to be so precise with where they land it and how much spin they put on it. I think you're going to see, like you just mentioned, I mean, it was a practice round, so I don't really give too much credence to that about Rory,
right.
but
of course.
But if he doesn't get the ball in the fairway, I don't really know how. It doesn't really matter how good you are. You cannot survive from the rough at Oakmont. No way.
So fairways and greens, baby. Fairways and greens. Boy, Green, you want to jump in here?
Yeah, I just want to say again, we're speaking with Jim Roy, our legend here, as he's in the middle of action. He's in the middle of his natural habitat out there.
That's right.
In the golfing world.
Live from Bellevue Country Club in the middle of a lesson with a Syracuse legend.
Yeah, Dennis Duval.
For much more here.
Which Lurch you nailed, even though we didn't think you nailed it initially. You did nail it. So,
I knew
audio issue there.
Yes, I didn't hear your response, but I knew you would. Hold on a second, Jim. That was real good, Dennis. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, there you go. Just giving them a little feedback there.
A little feedback
on the range in the middle of a lesson. We're just interrupting someone's lesson. It's perfectly fine. Well, this fantasy draft is very important. We gotta make sure we get this thing in.
Which, speaking of Lurch, do you have any trash to talk with me and Jim here, or what's?
I have no trash to talk. I'm just going for the the yearly slam.
Have you come up with a name yet?
Trying to get all 4 majors in a singular year. I mean, I'm at 2, and I got 2 more to go. I'm kind of Tiger Woods and up right now, just thinking of who I'm going to select. I got to get this winner here so that I can be on the cusp of greatness, Boy Green. Greatness.
Jim, can you humble this guy? Come on, Jim. Can you humble this guy? What the hell's going on?
Well, I think that's impossible. But
yeah, that's definitely impossible.
But we're just going to have to go after him here at Oakmont.
That's it. Well, Jim, I've never offered this before, but there's a partnership here because here's the fact of the matter. Okay?
Strategize against the Manchild.
Yes, I did not go to school for math, Jim, but from what I understand, there's 4 majors, and Lurch just won 2 of them. So there's only one goal here. Me and you must put our hands in the middle here and push one of each other up. Let's try to block him in the fantasy draft with wherever we're positioned. Let's try to get everyone he wants. Let's just try to play defense. Defense wins championships, Jim Roy.
I know, but I don't think he's the only one that's ever won the first 2 in a year.
No, that's a good point.
Yeah, plenty of people have blown it. That's a good point, Jim. Plenty of people have blown it through the last stretch. Yeah. It's a good point.
Yeah.
I think last year, if I'm not mistaken, because Jim won 2 majors last year and I won 2 majors, and I'm trying to remember who
was
won.
it 2-2?
Which?
Like 2 first, then 2 last?
You know,
I
my
can't remember.
recollection is that it wasn't. My recollection is that it was.
I thought we all did some trading going on. Yeah.
Yeah, like maybe he won the Masters and then I won, the PGA, and then he came back and won, or vice versa. Yeah, I think it was. I think it went back and forth. So we didn't have this situation here where it's kind of out there on a platter for me right now, and the question is, can I take it, or am I going to let you guys steal it from me?
So let's cut the BS. Are you going because you won? You get to pick where you pick in a snake draft setting. Obviously, if you pick 1, you don't pick again until 6. But if you pick at 3, you could get the back-to-back action. So where are you going to be picking, Lurch?
I'm picking first, of course. Where else would I want
Okay.
to pick?
I tried, Jim. I tried to see if I could
pick.
Jedi mind trick. That was ineffective.
Who's picking second?
That's a good point. Who is?
Roy had a better.
He did. Was it close?
PGA than you. Not really.
Oh,
Not really.
well, okay. There you go.
So,
all right, back to back, perfect place you want to be. Great. All right, Lurch, get us started here.
I think BG had 2 guys miss the cut. We don't have that open. We're usually very good with our 9 guys. That our 9 guys make the putt, but
I don't think he took Hideki last. Did he take?
I did not.
Last?
That was
he
a
did
mistake.
not. And maybe it's time. Maybe it's time
it
to
might
come
be.
back to your
I'm
guy.
not going to reveal my strategies. I don't have to do that to you.
The one time you won, you had Hideki. I mean, why you've gone away from that, I don't know. Stick with Matsuyama. That's always the karma.
He's been good to me. He's been
all
good
right.
To me.
So let's do it. It's time to do our fantasy draft. It's a snake draft. We each get 3 players. All right, and we get to decide who they're going to be, and then it is, like I said, if any one of our guys wins it, then it is over.
Of course.
But if it doesn't, then we go to our point system for who wins the 3rd major of the year. All right, so it's going to be JL first, followed by JR, followed by BG. All right, in order. All right, everybody ready to make their picks? Are you ready?
All right, people have been waiting on the edge of their seat, Lurch, for all the drama that's building on the number 1 overall pick.
Moment where you ask maybe the guy you're giving lessons to for a little advice. Maybe Dennis Duval could help you out here.
Oh, yeah, you could give a guest pick, a celebrity pick. I like that.
Savant he is. All right.
I'm not going to unveil my strategy, but we've discussed a couple of different things here on the practice tee. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, nice. Okay.
All right. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to surprise many here with pick number 1 because, despite the fact that in order to win, he'll have to have won back-to-back majors. But there's just no way on a course and in a tournament that is determined designed to determine who the best golfer in the world is, that I'm not going to take the best golfer in the world. So despite the fact that, he could get a little shady off the tee here and then, he's still the best iron player in golf, and he certainly improved his putting game a lot. So I'm no surprise. I'm going to stick with my guy, Scotty Scheffler, who won the PGA and now is going for back-to-back majors. So I'm off the board with Scheffler. Roy, you're up next. Who do you have?
Colin Morikawa.
Okay.
Wow. I love the conviction, the aggression.
Right. It was very emphatic. So tell us why. Go ahead. Give us a little insight.
Why? Because I had asked Sweet D who he thought might win the Open, and I had Morikawa on my little I don't know if you can see it, but I got on my little list.
Oh wow, you have a fantasy draft board.
Okay.
And the first person that he mentioned was Colin Morikawa, so we were on the same page. So I'm going with Morikawa.
Okay, boy, I mean, you
that
get
makes a lot of sense.
Backers here, my friend. Who do you have?
This is always very important. And Lurch, you started us off with who? Scotty?
Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, okay, Scotty. Yes. Okay, so he's off the board. Obviously, that makes a lot of sense. Let's go John Rahm. We'll go John Rahm here.
Ooh,
okay.
I kind of wanted Rahm in this one. I might have picked him if he was on the board
at
6, but he's not.
Win for the good guys. Nice. So go a little John Rahm action for sure. And this is just a guy I've liked a lot, and it might be his time. Give me some Tommy Fleetwood action. There you go.
Ooh, Fleetwood going for his first major. Wow.
Nice.
Okay.
It's got to happen eventually. That means he's due, Lurch. That's what that means.
Roy, back to you. Ooh.
Okay, so I'm going to take somebody that's never won a major, and he's, I think, overdue.
I know where he's going with this.
You do, huh?
I think so.
I'm going to go with Patrick Cantlay.
Not where I thought he was going to go at all. Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Very, very outside the box. Although he is, I'm looking at
what is he, like the 5th ranked player in the world?
Yeah.
I don't think it was.
I'm looking at his odds. He's plus 4,500 to win, but he's probably a little outside the top 10. I'm looking at a list of odds. This is off of CBS Sports, so I'm sure there are some other odds out there, but he's a plus 4,500 behind, a lot of other guys. But okay, I'm down with that. So I'm back to backing here now. Whew.
To finish off your draft.
Right.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm not touching Rory McIlroy in this major, just so you guys know. So you want him, he's all yours. I'm
Aw,
not touching him.
thanks.
I don't trust him.
Thanks,
I
buddy.
don't trust him off the tee on a course like this. But a guy that I do trust off the tee, and I don't like him very much, but I like the way he plays in U.S. Opens. I like that sometimes he tries to overpower a course. I'm going with Bryson DeChambeau, baby. Give me DeChambeau.
Wow, that's disgusting, Lars. You just chastised me for picking him last time, and now this.
Brutal double dip here with Scheffler and DeChambeau. Going with those two guys. Ooh. And I get to pick again here, which is just juicy. I mean, ooh. All right. I'd like a guy who really hits it straight. I like a guy who I can trust a bit here. I'm between two guys. I think I'm going to go with another live guy. This is scary. Manchild going 2 live guys. Joaquin Niemann is going to be my third pick.
Wow. Joaquin Niemann. Nice. Okay.
All right. Back to Jim Roy. Final pick here.
There goes your chance for a Grand Slam.
We'll see.
Booyah! The trash talk commences. Yes.
A little trash talk. I'm going to go way outside the box now.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah, I like it.
Well, because there's a lot of obviously big time names still out there, but this guy is a straight hitter and he's a competitor and he's probably top 10 in the world. I'm going with Russell Henley.
Okay, plus 7,000. Russell Henley.
There you go. Make some scratch. I like it. Nice.
Yep.
Henley. He's got the LEYs going here. There's some kind of trend going here.
Yeah.
Boy Green, final pick.
Okay, here we go. Let me evaluate the board here. Let me take a gander. Let me see what I want here. Okay. All right. How can I screw the man-child?
I've already picked. You really can't.
Yeah, let's see.
I've got my guys.
Is Hideki Matsuyama still on the board? Is he still
Yes,
there?
he is.
Okay,
Okay.
that's good to know.
Still there.
Good go. Good go there. That's very possible. I'm going to go with, give me Shane Lowry. I'll take Shane Lowry.
There
you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right. So here are the picks one more time in our fantasy draft. Major number 3. We're 2 for 2, or I should say I'm 2 for 2. It is Lurch who has Scheffler, DeChambeau, and Niemann. Roy has Morikawa, Cantley, and Henley. And Boy Green has Rahm, Fleetwood, and Lowry. 2 Euros on your team there, Boy Green.
Yes.
Okay.
My strategy.
So one of those 9 wins the U.S. Open at Oakmont. Fabulous stuff. Jim, sorry to interrupt your lesson. Thank you for working here together with us, and we're making the technology work.
Pour one out for Dennis Duval for us.
Yes, pour one out for Dennis. All right, tell him we give our regards.
He's hearing you right now.
You know,
he's going to say hi to you guys.
Oh, great. Dennis
there
Duval, baby. What's up, Dennis?
And Dennis, if you're looking for used clubs, come right here to Play It Again Sports. I'm seeing them on the rack. They're going fast. Then you can save a few bucks if you need to.
I got something I can sell you.
That's right.
Or sell your old. They need it. The inventory.
I think he hit his wedges.
Use some inventory.
Shot free throws.
See, and here's a cool thing. If someone like Dennis or you, Jim, turned in your clubs, not only could they put them on the rack as gently used clubs, but they could put Jim Roy's gently used clubs or, Sweet D's.
Yeah, he can autograph it.
I think those things for 2-3 times as much. I mean, you might be able to get some celebrity cachet off of your clubs, dare I say.
I gave all mine last year to the first tee, so I don't have. Believe it or not, I have one set of clubs now.
Okay.
Well, I will say this:
that's a wonderful cause. So
yeah,
good for you.
I would just say though, I believe if I signed a golf club, it would cut its value in half. I don't think it would increase my autograph the golf
You're
club
right.
I use.
Don't put that they were your clubs.
Effect,
the kind of abuse that your clubs go through, people wouldn't want those clubs.
Yeah, but at least
day.
all the sweet spots look new.
That's true. There'd be nothing but, around the top, the bottom, the outside, and there'd just be this beautiful, like, hit it here thing, that's never been touched before. That's very good, right. Jim. All right. See, Jim, you've been trash talking with you today.
I appreciate that. That's good.
That's right.
All right, Jim. Thank you very much. Sorry to disturb your lesson, but thank you for chiming in. Good luck and enjoy the U.S. Open. And happy Father's Day to both you and Dennis, by the way, as we approach Father's Day weekend.
I was just going to say, I wish all the fathers out there happy Father's Day. And it's always fun to get together with you guys. It's going to be a great tournament this week.
It is. It's going to be a terrific tournament, and we always enjoy it being on Father's Day weekend. Bye, Jim.
All right, see ya.
All right, way to get the technology in there. Boy
Yeah.
Green gets the Gold Star of the Day award because we had Roy, for those of you watching us on our digital feed, we had Roy on the phone lines, which would have only gotten him down the radio portal and would have not have gotten him here to the digital portal. So we had to pivot very, very quickly. So thanks for hanging with us while we technologically figured that little puzzle out and got him here both digitally and on the radio side of things. All right, so we're all locked and loaded for the U.S. Open, my friend. Ready to go.
Beautiful. Come on, Jim.
Right.
Let's go.
All right, top of the hour is upon us, so we'll get out to it here. We'll take a break. When we return, we're going to talk a little bit with Sean Hines, who's the owner of Play It Again Sports here in Syracuse in the DeWitt Town Plaza. Find out what they've got in stock right now, what are some of the things they need, how you can contribute to this wonderful place, or maybe even come down here and buy some used stuff and take some inventory off of their hands. So we'll do that in a couple of minutes. We've still got our NBA insider, Sean Devaney, coming at
We actually
11:30.
won't. Sean, Sean has a situation. He'll be joining us on Friday. A developing situation.
All right.
Yes.
Well, no Sean Devaney then. Okay. Well, that's fine. We'll have a little more to talk about with the NBA
That's
Finals
it.
by Friday. All right. So Devaney moved to Friday. Sorry about that, folks. All right. We'll take a break. We'll be back. More to come on the Manchild Show with Boy Green Digital and on the Score 1260, score1260.com, and the Score 1260 app. We'll be right back.
All right, beautiful. Lurch, just as we're still on StreamYard here, I'm just going to give a quick shout out. So go ahead, Lurch. No, you can go ahead if you'd like. Go ahead. There we go. I'll be right here. I just want to give a quick shout out here. We have Ed Vargas on the channel. Thank you so much for being a YouTube member, Ed Vargas. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. As we're here both simulcasting on both radio and digital. If you guys are watching on @MC Show Digital here on YouTube, make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe, spread the gospel for all things the Manchild Show with Boy Green Digital. We appreciate you guys. So Ed Vargas, appreciate you very much. And thank you to everyone. I appreciate you. I see Hop on Poppin' here, Johnny Boy, Terrence Hill, and so many others all watching here on our YouTube feed. Also want to give a shout out to our Instagram feed, Mike Nikoski. I see Rob Fingers in here and so many others. Thanks for all your support so far on the Manchild Show of Boy Green live here from Play It Again Sports Syracuse. Again, we'll be back soon. Ed Vargas, you did get yourself a raffle ticket for our contest. I'll put that aside in our notes. We'll be back after this commercial break. Hang on tight, everybody.
Hey, 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 it's Bud and the Man-Child. Hey, 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 it's Bud and the Man-Child. Hey, 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 it's Bud and the Man-Child. Bringing you the best in sports, talking about the ups and downs. Take it to a higher level, turn up the sound. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Hey, 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 it's Bud and the Man-Child. 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 Bringing you the best in sports, talking about the ups and downs. Take it to a higher level, turn up the sound. Hey, 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 it's Bud and the Man-Child.
All right, welcome back here, everybody, here at Play It Again Sports Syracuse. It's me, and, we got a special guest here coming back on the radio show. It's myself and Sean Hines, Play It Again Sports Syracuse. Sean, what's up, man?
Hey, Hey, nothing. How you doing?
Well, it's great. Thank you so much for having us out here. You have a beautiful place here. We have customers jumping all over the place here. It's amazing to see everybody all around. Is this your first live broadcast you've ever had here at the store?
It is.
Okay. Well, I'm glad we're able to check that one off the bucket list, Sean. This is something we wanted to do. Well, first off, tell both our visual, all our viewers that are streaming live on all our social media platforms, but also for the people that are listening on the radio here, give us a little taste of Play It Again Sports Syracuse. If they're just hearing about this for the first time, give it to us.
Well, we buy and sell gently used sporting goods. We also have new sporting goods here. But primarily we're in the business of recycling sporting goods. Basically, if you've got kids who outgrow this stuff pretty frequently, you'll see that those goods aren't worn that much, and
Sure,
they can be
right.
reused. And if you bring them here, we'll evaluate them and we'll make you an offer in cash. We'll pay you cash on the spot. Or if you're looking to upgrade, we'll give you more, generally more in store credit, and you can see what we have and upgrade to the next size or maybe a higher level piece of gear. And we aim to keep stuff out of landfills, and we aim to save people money because, you'll see when you come in here, used goods are generally less than half of what new stuff costs.
Wow.
And we're very, we're pretty particular in what we buy. We make sure it's still usable and still safe.
Of course.
And you'll get a good deal. I mean, and the biggest issue we have is getting enough quality used stuff. So we appreciate you guys getting the word out. I mean,
course.
we know people have stuff in their basements, in their garages that are just collecting dust. And so bring it in. And like I said, we'll evaluate it. We don't take everything. Some stuff has a shelf life. Some stuff does wear out eventually.
Yeah, sure.
But usually, if your kids are using this stuff, they'll grow out of them before the goods get worn out. So they can be reused. So bring them in, and we've got a staff here, expert staff. My guys here.
Who do we got over there? Who's
Reese.
back there? Here's Reese with the
there.
glasses, nice gray shirt. Okay.
These guys know sporting goods
Okay.
better than I do now,
Okay.
because they're knee deep in it every day.
Okay.
And as you guys mentioned earlier, we're in the heart of golf, lacrosse, and baseball season. We're still looking for that stuff. I mean, if you go over in our golf section right now, I need drivers, I need putters, I need fairway woods. In baseball, I need bats, I need gloves. Soccer, we just, the spring soccer season just kicked off a few weeks ago. We got wiped out in soccer cleats. We need soccer cleats because there's a fall season. Football season's coming up. We need football cleats. So yeah, we're looking for stuff. And so don't, a lot of times people come in here and say, this stuff has been in my garage for 20 years and now I want to get rid of it. Well, usually 20 years, it's too late.
I see.
So don't be that person.
Right.
Get that stuff in here while it's still usable and while it still has some value. You get to put some money in your pocket. We get it out of the landfill and we save people money. So it's kind of a good thing we do here, and that's why I do it.
Yeah, that's amazing. I like that we sort of check off all the boxes of, again, play it again. These items get to be used again. The shelf life for the items themselves get extended as opposed to, as your point, going to landfills or, quite frankly, just being stocked in people's houses. I mean, you're accomplishing so many things here. You're trying to say, hey, get this stuff out that's like just just shoved in your house, and we will give you money for, and you feel good. Like charity efforts and things of that nature. This is in a way that of giving back and being able to do that. And let me ask you this, because I've been bringing this up to Lurch all the time, that some people, sure, they want cold hard cash, but you've mentioned it before that you could get more for store credit. Is that case by case? Is it a certain percentage you get more if you opt for store credit versus cash?
Generally, it's 10% more.
Okay.
However, to like right now, we would give you even more than that for golf stuff.
Oh, so in-season items are very important.
In-season or stuff we're looking for or stuff that we don't have. Like, a lot of times people come in and, hey, I'm looking at those, ping 770 irons on your wall.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And I'm trading in these older clubs, and I got to get to a certain point to be able to afford it. We'll see if we can do that. I mean,
Okay.
one of the things we do here is we will negotiate.
Oh. Okay.
So if, someone a lot of times we'll make an offer and people be like, that's not what I was looking for. We'll ask them, what are you looking for? And we'll see if we can make a deal.
So back and forth is available.
Is on certain things. Other things have pretty stock resale prices.
Okay.
And it kind of is what it is. And used golf balls are used golf balls. We grade them.
Sure.
They carry a certain price. There's not a lot of negotiating going on there. But higher end items like that Scotty Cameron putter I showed you guys earlier.
Right. Yeah.
That's something where we have some flexibility because we don't see that very often.
Sure.
We probably sell 10 to 12 Scotty Cameron putters a season.
Wow.
I would love to sell 50 Scotty
I'm sure
Cameron
you
putters.
would. Right.
So, someone brings something in, it's like, okay, that's kind of something we really want.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe there's some room to work.
Interesting. What kind of negotiator are you, Sean? Are
Yeah.
you a hard guy? Are you coming in? Because there's some people, like when I was growing up, I've had people tell me, like, no matter what the first offer is, you automatically have to reject it because that can't be the best offer. So there's some back and forth that's happening.
And again, it depends on the item.
Okay.
Some things that first offer is our best offer.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, but other times, like,
yes.
And again, if you're looking to trade,
sure.
If you're looking to buy something we have in the store, we can definitely, we're definitely more flexible as opposed to if you're looking for cash.
Which again makes sense that you're trying to work with someone. You have stuff here, they have stuff. Come on, there's a middle ground.
And it's to steal something from one of our competitors.
Yeah.
Sports matter to me.
Yeah.
They were a huge part of my life. They still are.
Yeah.
And they were a huge part of my kids' lives.
Yeah.
And I want to see kids and even parents into sports. I mean, that means something to me.
Yeah.
So if we can help get someone into a sport, these sports that we're talking about, lacrosse is not an inexpensive sport.
Mm-hmm.
You gear up a lacrosse kid with a helmet and shoulder pads and elbow pads and gloves and a stick.
Yeah.
You're talking, real money.
Yeah, significant
and so
investment.
if we can work with somebody to get, their kid into sports, we will do it. And we will bend over backwards to get it done.
I love that. And that's really cool. Now you mentioned that, depending on the season, different sports are in stock and thus you're looking for different things. Is it sort of just obvious we're in a season and obviously that's a season? Do you have a neon sign somewhere in the store that we are looking for this specifically?
We have a top 10 buying list right there, right by Reese.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We also print that on our receipts. So every receipt we print out, if you look at it, it'll show you what we're looking for right now.
That's great.
But we don't turn anything away. If you bring in,
it's high quality, something that you guys.
If you bring in a snowboard right now,
right.
We will make you an offer.
Okay.
It's not going to be as high as an offer as if you bring that snowboard in December.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're looking to get it out of your garage, we've got to obviously pack that away and store it and hold on to it for 6 months. So there is a cost associated with that.
Yeah, like I'm looking at your buying top 10 list right now. There's drivers for golf, there's baseball gloves, there's lacrosse sticks, there's putters, and there's a power ranking here of like 1 through 10. How often is this list changing? Is it like up? All right, this one moved up from 8 to 6 on the list.
Well, usually we'll adjust that quarterly, right?
Oh, okay.
So this is kind of our spring summer list.
All right.
As we get closer to football season, fall soccer, fall hockey.
I see.
You'll start seeing some of those things pop up on that list as we kind of figure out.
Show that to the camera. Here,
as we kind of figure out what we need for those seasons. Every now and then we'll start putting out our hockey stuff, and we'll be like, oh my God, we don't have any 12-inch hockey gloves.
Sure.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We need those.
Yeah.
Or, you figure out what you need as we get closer to those seasons. So.
And another important piece to me is I'm involved, or I try to be involved with a lot of teams. For instance, tomorrow we're going to have my former Oswego high school football teammate, who's now the head coach at Oswego, Chris Pike, who's coming back. We just had Kyle Perez on the show this past week. He was a former football teammate of mine that now works for the Oswego, Little League down there. He's got a full team that's also a special thing that I know you guys try to work with coaches and people that aren't just buying, or one baseball glove or one bat or this or that. They're coming in and it's almost like you could smell it, Sean. You see them in the certain package, you're like, wait a second here. This isn't an everyday purchase. You're clearly someone that's kind of doing a buy for the team.
Yep. Yeah. We do a coach's discount. And again, if you come in here and you're buying in volume, obviously we can get you a better deal than if you're buying one or two things. So let us know what you need. We also do uniforms and jerseys.
Oh, wow.
People don't know that.
I did not know that.
We're very competitive. We just, you guys saw those boxes I brought in.
Yeah.
That's for a summer hockey league, high school hockey league.
Wow.
That's going to be played up in Cicero.
Oh, amazing.
We did those jerseys for those guys. And the other thing we talk about is, we get a lot of requests for sponsorships. Like we sponsor Syracuse Little League. We sponsor Manchild DeWitt Little League.
Yeah.
And we would love to get involved in, doing jerseys for those guys too.
Okay.
So if you've got jersey needs, and they all do,
of course,
let us take a look, see what we can do.
How does that work if someone was seeking to do that?
So basically, we've got an online configurator, right?
Sure. Okay.
So, you can do like these hockey jerseys we did for this high school hockey league.
Yeah.
They're fairly, basic jerseys. Says FM on it, there's a number on the back.
Sure.
That's a $15 or $20
run of the mill.
Right?
I understand. Yep.
But if you look at there's a football jersey over there on the wall.
Oh, I see.
That is like the Mac Daddy of football jerseys.
Yeah, that's a sexy beast over
there. So that's a $50 or $75 jersey.
I see.
So there's all
can vary.
what you want.
I understand.
So you can go on our online configurator.
Sure.
Basically dial up kind of what you want.
Okay.
We'll take a look at it and we'll price it out.
And how does that work? Is that off the website?
Yeah, it's right off. You go to our website, right on our homepage.
Okay.
At the bottom, there'll be a link. It'll take you to our vendor.
Okay.
Champ Pro that does the jerseys.
Yeah.
And it basically will walk you through how you do that.
All right. Wow.
If you're not that technology savvy, just come in here and we can work that.
Oh, that's great.
You.
That's what I was going to ask, because I know some people.
But it kind of gives you an idea of what, like I said, there's a huge range in jerseys.
Of course.
So sometimes people do these configurations and then they're like, that's like double what I wanted to spend.
Yeah, right.
Well, maybe we can take, the kid's name off the back and the logo off
then
the
you
shoulder.
start to find out what's important because you go, booyah. Oh, whoa, mamacita. Okay, I got to take off one of these.
Tons of different fabrics.
Oh, great.
You get a basic fabric versus, something that's really higher end.
Yeah.
And it's all over the place. So, if you have that need or you're looking just to see if what you're doing is competitive right now, let us know.
I think I'm unmuted, Boy Green, right? So
okay.
I know I'm not on camera right now, right? But
sure. Right? I think so. Go ahead.
All right. Me, so you don't need to see me.
Okay.
Just a quick thing for Sean. So I was walking around the store while you two guys were talking, and Boy Green, remember I've told the story on the air.
Yeah.
All right. About the hockey goalie pads that I wanted when I was a little kid.
Yes, I remember that.
Strapped on, couch cushions on my legs. So let me ask you, I know it's off season here, but there's got to be about 7 or 8, professional hockey pads, the leg pads. How much does a pair of those go for?
So it's funny, those are new. Those things can run you several hundreds of dollars.
I know that, which is why my parents never got it for me. I was heartbroken as a child.
But generally, depending on the condition of them, we price them somewhere between $50 and $150.
Mm-hmm.
God, I could have had hockey goalie pants. Again was around when I was a little
kid.
You'd be
surprised, and it's true. We sell a lot of those in season. We really, by, September, October, somebody will come in here and be like, "Oh my God, what are you doing with all those hockey pads?" Mm-hmm. And then by January, February, they'll all be gone.
Wow.
So the one size hockey pad that we have trouble getting are youth.
Interesting.
Youth pads, because I know in leagues and stuff, those get passed along.
Right, sure.
And which is, but, if you're out there and you've got a pair of those in your garage and your kid doesn't play hockey anymore, bring them in because we can find a home for them.
Kids can achieve their dream, Boy Green. I didn't do it when I was a child.
No.
Again, didn't exist.
Okay.
Now they do.
And
my
this
parents
is
would have said yes,
yeah.
for $50 or $100.
Yeah,
I think back then it was like 500 or more for those hockey pads. They just looked at me every birthday like, "Are you crazy, son?
Yeah,
We
that's
don't have that kind of money."
That's what they are new. They're pricey.
Well, that's the thing, and just sort of on that same vein of affordability, because I have 2 young children, both under the age of 3.5. I'm already seeing it every time that I come in here. That I'm already seeing. I'm getting visions of 10 years in the future of being in, or 5 years of grabbing this and looking at this and things of that nature. That seems like another important piece of this. That there is an affordability factor here that is open both for the buyer and obviously the seller as they're trying to give second life to some of these things. That seems like an important tenet here of Played Against Sports.
Yeah, and if you have a kid who wants to play hockey, or if you have a kid who wants to play lacrosse, it's like, is he going to like it? Is he going to stick with it?
Sure.
You go out and you draw. I mean, to outfit a new kid in hockey with all new stuff, you're going to be pushing $500, $600, $700. But if you can do that for half of that or less than half of that, you're more likely to let them try it.
Right.
And if it doesn't work out, you can come back and sell stuff back. It's going to cost you a few bucks, but not as if you bought new. And so I think a lot of parents would be like Jim just said, yeah, we're just, he's not going to play hockey because we can't afford it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now maybe you can afford it. Maybe we can get your kid into hockey to try it, or lacrosse, or even baseball. Baseball, gloves and bats can get expensive.
Yeah.
Most kids have to have a helmet now. You throw in a pair of cleats, pair of pants, you're well over $100.
Right.
And you can definitely do that more affordably here. So again, it's just a way to get kids into sports. It's the whole, we call it the whole cycle. We're reusing it.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting it for less price. Kid gets into sports.
Yeah.
It's kind of a home run when that happens.
We are live here at Played Against Sports Syracuse. I got the owner and do it all man, the grand poobah, quite frankly, Sean Hines here. We're streaming live on our MC Show digital platforms. We're also on the radio on the Score 1260, thescore1260.com, and for free on the Score 1260 app. Now, I saw this earlier. Now, the store is open. Customers are coming in and out. And very early, I saw someone coming in with some disc golf action. And I also saw that online. I had a friend who had collected a big set. He was selling them. And so disc golf, that's not something, I played football. I played basketball. Disc golf. What? Give us a sense on the craze of disc golf.
It is growing. And interestingly enough, Syracuse is an area that it's very popular in, basically because there are a lot of courses here, a lot of disc golf courses.
Yeah.
They're at parks.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've got 8 or 10 within driving distance of Syracuse.
Wow.
And that's not usual.
Mm-hmm.
We've got some guys, a lot of golfers come down in this early spring from Canada to play before the weather's good up there.
Sure.
And they're like, in their towns, we have one disc golf course.
Yeah, right.
So it's very, and it doesn't cost anything to play these courses.
I get, right.
They're just part of the parks.
Sure.
Clay Park is an example.
Yeah.
They've got 2 courses there.
Yeah.
And it doesn't cost anything to play there.
Sure, yeah.
And the disc golf community has done a good job in making these courses playable and obviously free.
Sure.
So that's why it's been very popular. So, and it's, it's a great recreational sport.
Yeah.
I've never played it myself.
I was just about to ask if you've jumped on the craze.
I keep threatening to play it.
Okay.
But it's a walk in the park, basically.
Sure, yeah.
So, it is popular, and we do a lot of used discs.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yep.
What is your role, Played Against Sports Syracuse, in disc golf? Because again, I was seeing someone come in with disc golf to, I assume, sell. Or
that's one of the areas where people trade up a lot, right?
Interesting. So explain that to me.
They'll buy a new disc. They'll go out. They'll play it. They'll get to a point where they want something different.
Okay.
And they'll trade that in and get another new disc.
Oh, I see.
And then we'll sell that disc as used. So,
right.
It's like I said, it's very popular. It's very affordable, compared to regular golf.
Yeah, right. Well, right.
You can play disc golf for a lot less initial investment.
Right.
And so and again, it was something I wasn't familiar with at all until I started doing this. And that community is very They're tight knit.
Yeah.
And they're very passionate. And it's funny, we talk about disc golfers. That's the customer that doesn't need a lot of help.
Right.
Those guys.
I see.
There,
I guess that's true.
They kind of know what they want. They know more than we do about the discs, and they educate us.
Yeah, right.
So it's been interesting.
And creatively, it sounds like you have an open mind. Like disc golf, you're like, before I got into this, I had, but it sounds like you are open to whatever the community asks for. You sort of respond to the community.
At heart, I am a businessman.
Of course.
If there is a need out there,
okay,
we will
some
try
supply and demand.
We will try to fill it. I mean, we get some requests here for different sports. That, it's not going to happen.
Okay,
right? We don't have the space.
Right.
For a lot of niche sports.
Is there a suggestion box around here? Is that where we submit those? What happens for that?
No, it's all about just word of mouth.
I see.
But people come in here a lot and ask about bowling.
Yes.
Or paintball.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Or archery.
Sure. Wow.
And just those, we just don't have the space for kind of, and I would call those more niche sports than,
Well, I told you when I first came on board, I'm a martial arts practitioner. I spent a lot of years in Tang Soo-Do, which is the art of the fist, and then coming up here to Taekwondo 17 years ago, that's the art of the leg. And there's sparring, there's all kinds of fitness techniques or fitness gear that sometimes there's a cross-pollination that could make sense. So that's one of the first things I asked, because I said, I know I'm pumping my kids through some martial arts action, so I'd love to, come full circle around. So that's another one that I was throwing out there. I put in the suggestion box.
All right. Well,
I did that.
We occasionally will get someone looking.
Ooh, okay.
But
all right.
Most of the we get some boxing requests here.
Oh, great. Sure.
But it's mostly the fitness boxing.
Oh, right? I see.
People who are putting gloves on and going to a class to get a workout. Not like real boxing.
Right. Beating somebody up. Right. No, I understand that. What's another thing here that you want to highlight? We have a bunch of people that are going to be watching the show, obviously listening to the show right now on the Score 1260, the Score1260.com, and for free on the Score 1260 app. What do you want to highlight about your business, Sean?
Really, the other one we haven't talked about is we do a lot of weights.
I see that. We are surrounded by weights.
And again, weights is one of those things that are expensive.
Yes.
And used or affordable, and we can't get enough used stuff.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you've got, like I tell the story, my son built a gym in our basement.
Yeah.
During his high school years, he was a football player.
Sure.
And him and his buddies worked out every day for
that's dedication, baby.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
But then he went off to college, and
now what do you do with all these weights?
So we brought that stuff in here, and and it sells. I mean, it's So and the other thing about weights is they really don't wear out.
That's what I was going to say. We joked earlier about, boy, I've had this for 20 years. Like, keep that at home. Isn't a weight a weight?
Yeah, it is. It really is. Some get rusty.
Sure.
But again, we would even look at rusty plates because we can clean them up.
Of course.
Again, that would be something that wouldn't be worth as much as one that's not rusty.
Of course,
but,
naturally. Right.
So that would be the other area I would highlight. We do benches, we do bars, we do dumbbells, we do kettlebells. So check your basement.
Okay, let me do a follow-up on that because it's sort of interesting. Now, we talked about earlier that there's a negotiation that can occur between some items. I would feel like, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, like a weight sort of item, anything in the weight category that we're currently surrounded by, that doesn't feel like something that has a lot of wiggle room. It's a weight. Here's the price. Here's what it is. Is that a wrong assumption?
No, that's generally weights are, we pay generally 30 cents a pound.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Oh, wow. So it's okay.
But what I would say is if you brought in weights that, if you brought in a lot of weights, a full set.
Oh, sure.
That were in really good condition, we would pay you more.
Oh, for this,
if you bring in a couple random plates that are rusted, we're going to pay you. We're going to pay you.
You get what you pay for,
right?
Or vice versa.
So there isn't really negotiation there, but we would adjust pricing based on what you're bringing in,
which obviously makes a lot of sense.
And we had a guy come in, and he was a real workout, an older guy.
Okay,
and he had accumulated so much stuff over the years that he had to sell some of it. He brought in a bunch of really good stuff.
Oh, great.
And we definitely paid him more than 30 cents a pound. But it was sets.
Okay.
And the stuff was in even though it was older,
yeah,
it was in pristine condition.
So let me ask you this. So like, I'm a big fan of Pawn Stars. And when someone's bringing in a ton of stuff, sometimes they're like, hey, I'm going to need you to have to come outside for this one. And they bring and unload and say, look at all this stuff I want to bring to the table. Have you had any of those where people are bringing so much stuff and it may be good or bad? I guess that's part of your guys' evaluation process. Has that happened?
Yeah.
Where people are bringing a lot?
Yeah, recently we got a call from one of the leagues, one of the little leagues.
Sure.
I forget which one it was, but they were like, "We're cleaning out our shed."
Oh, wow!
So they showed up at 10 o'clock on Saturday.
All right.
They dumped all their stuff here. We were like, "Give us a couple hours."
Yeah, I was just about to say, how long does the evaluation process for something that much?
A couple hours.
Right.
They came back. Half the stuff we couldn't take, half the stuff we could take.
Oh, okay.
And it was good for them. It was good for us. But that happens,
right?
And again, we'll have a lot of people be like, "It's in my truck, and I don't want to take it out unless you're going to take it." Well, we'll go out to the truck and
so you're willing to? You can do a drive-by part of the
we'll
service.
Take a quick look and be like,
okay, all right.
So. We try to be flexible.
Okay, I love that. That's beautiful. Well, again, Sean Hines here, Played Again Sports Syracuse. It's wonderful. We're here. Guys, continue to keep watching. Sean, thank you so much for hosting us.
Appreciate it, guys. Yeah.
Of course. We're going to take a timeout here on the Score 1260. We got more coming up right here on the Manchild Show with Boyd Green and the Manchild Show with Boyd Green digital properties. We'll see you guys soon. Hang
It's Bud and the Man-Child. Hey, hey, hey. It's Bud and the Man-Child. Hey, hey, hey. It's Bud and the Man-Child. Bringing you the best in sports, talking about the ups and downs. Take it to a higher level, turn up the sound. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Hey, 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 it's Bud and the Man-Child. 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 Bringing you the best in sports, talking about the ups and downs. Take it to a higher level, turn up the sound. Hey, 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 it's Bud and the Man-Child. 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 Bringing you the best in sports, talking about the ups and downs. Take it to a higher level, turn up the sound. Hey, hey, hey.
All right, we are back. Manchild Show with Boy Green and MC Show Digital for all you people watching on StreamYard. Hello, we see you. And Boy Green will be back in the screen here in just a moment. We're just kind of flexing our technical muscles here today because we are out at Play It Again Sports in the DeWitt Town Plaza in Central New York, right in the Syracuse area. And we just heard from Sean Hines, the owner, got a lot of good background information about what Play It Again is all about. And we're back here in sports mode here for the rest of the show. Certainly, if you want to ask a question, throw a comment out there, do it on our digital property, and we can read those comments or answer your questions. We are, in just a couple of moments, going to have Zach Matiasik, who is back in the the Score 1260 studios today, running all of this for us, getting this audio to all our radio listeners while we try and make sure that all the video stuff gets out here digitally through our laptops. He's going to join us in just a couple of moments, and we're going to do our traditional What's Trending Around the Water Cooler. This is a segment for those of you who are joining us on the digital platform where Zach just throws some questions, some topics at me and Boy Green, and we kind of banter about them and go back and forth just a little bit. So we're just a couple of moments away. Zach will join us, and then we will do some Trending Around the Water Cooler. Boy Green, is Zach ready?
I believe so. So without further ado,
I see him in the green room, as we call it here on the digital platform. And look at him, there
Zach
he is
can
in
hear
the
us.
studio. Oh man, wishing we were here. All right,
there he
very
goes.
cool.
Well, Zach, thank you for helping us on this maiden voyage here of dancing the beautiful dance of radio and digital both at the same time. Again, shout out to MC Show Digital on YouTube, at BoyGreen25 on YouTube, and our Instagram account at MC Show Digital. Guys, keep your questions and comments coming. I see you, R&R, Hop on Pop, Ed Vargas, who joined us here. Everybody, it's amazing. And again, shout out to Sean Hines for having us here from Play It Again Sports Syracuse. You guys, keep the comments coming. If you have questions, we'll get to those at some point later in the show. We'll try to bring some of those up. But Zach, first off, you're looking great visually. It looks like you've been working out using some of those weights, I assume, that Sean Hines was just bringing up. You look like a sculpted Greek god over there, for Pete's sake, Zach.
Pretty soon.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's going to have a new customer. I might
Okay, there you go. He has a new customer. Okay.
Thank you for noticing. I
Yeah,
have been hitting the weights pretty hard. So
I could tell. So, Zach, we don't have a theme song for you, at least on this side yet. We'll eventually have to add that over here to the rotation. But actually, let me double check. I want to make sure that we don't, have it on this side.
All right. Well, you're looking for that. Zach, I saw you made a comment in the comment section here on StreamYard about your old roommate's goalie pads were about $2,500 new. See?
Yep.
So they're like through the roof. And he has some really, really nice pads here on his wall in the back of the store where he's got his hockey equipment right now. I was like, ooh, those goalie pads. That's what I wanted when I was 7 years old, man.
Those are going
pads.
for an absolute bargain.
Yeah,
I mean, my roommate's pads were they were custom made. So they had the I forgot who it was exactly, which goal he had it, but the pads that had the scratch marks across it, the claw marks.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah,
he got a pattern similar to those. So
see, nowadays the hockey goalies they get the custom made masks now that are just incredible, that are designed just for them. Might even have some semblance of their nickname or something on them. They can do the pads can be done custom. Yeah, I was just looking for the standard issue. Back then they were just like brown. They were just like leather and brown. You remember the ones? I know you're a hockey guy. Even we see them in some hockey museums.
They just look like old potato bags filled with pillows or something.
All right, let's do some trending around the water cooler. So we'll hand the mic over to you. This is where you throw a topic or a question out at me and Boy Green, and we'll go back and forth on it. So I'll hand the torch over to you. Let's trend around the water cooler, my friend.
All right. So I know we all know that Tom Thibodeau's out of town in New York. But as of 11:40 last night, the Dallas Mavericks have firmly rejected the New York Knicks' request to speak with Jason Kidd for their next head coaching position. And I know you wanted I forgot who told me you were interested in, but
well, I'm interested in guys that are actually available, Zach, that are not already
That's
coaching
what I was
other
saying.
teams.
I
mean, sure, we'd all like to steal somebody else's coach, except the problem is that in order to do that, you have to give the other team something, and the Knicks are in no position to be giving away things, when you've already given away so many assets for both Towns and for Mikal Bridges. So I want them to get a coach that's available. So the top guy on my list is Michael Malone, who has won a championship recently, I think is a pretty good coach. I don't understand why he's much different than Tibbs, but I just want a good coach in this team. If it's not going to be Tibbs, let it be somebody else that's good. Chasing Udoka and guys like
Jason Kidd, right?
One, yeah.
I don't get this. What are the Knicks doing? Why do you fire a coach without having an idea of who your next guy's going to be, or going, oh boy, the landscape is pretty dry. Let's talk to guys that are coaching other teams right now because there are no good guys out there. Like, what were the Knicks thinking? They better end up with somebody good at the end of this because it is not looking good. This searching process, unless this is just all smoke and mirrors right now, this search process for the Knicks so far, in my view as a Knicks fan, has been a complete disaster.
Complete disaster.
Yeah, I just want to add into this. So, right, you've made the Knicks case of why would they potentially give up assets to go get somebody else's head coach. But what about your own team? Because, and this works the same way in the NFL as it does in NBA, as we just saw. If a coach is making a lateral move, which means Jason Kidd, head coach of Mavericks, to head coach of Knicks, that's a lateral move. He's not being promoted to something. He's getting the same job. That means the Mavs have the opportunity. So Knicks can request permission, and the Mavs can do as Zach Maniasic just said, reject it firmly or violently or however they apparently did it. That's the thing that I don't get. If we all agree that the NBA coaching candidacy pool isn't very deep, why would another team voluntarily put themselves into that by giving up Jason Kidd and then turning around and then diving into that pool themselves this late in the process with the NBA draft only a handful of weeks away? That's the part to me that doesn't make any sense. I understand why the Knicks may want to look at Jason Kidd or an Ime Udoka.
Of course, they're good coaches.
They're good coaches, but I just don't understand why those teams would respond to those. So, that to me seems a little bit confusing.
Yep, and I'm reading here, New York Knicks fired their most successful coach in decades. He got out-coached.
Yeah, I know. That's the rumor, right, of why they fired him, that they felt that Rick Carlisle out-coached him. Yeah, I don't get it. There was a question, or did we answer your question?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if there was a question.
Yeah.
Oh, well, no, yeah, I was just wondering if you agreed with that. Did he get out-coached? I don't think, I hear that a lot, that coaching matters, but I always feel like it you can only do, I think we've had this conversation before, you can only do so much as a coach, right? And it's
right.
Ultimately the players out there. So
I did not blatantly see that.
Someone's a real big thing.
Frankly, I think if you were going to put something out, and the Knicks haven't put anything out officially, so this is all rumor mill stuff. But if I were going to put something out as the Knicks, or plant something with one of the beat reporters or something, knowing that it would be a big story about why you fired Tom Thibodeau, then what I would be putting out, what I would tell them, PR 101, Boy Green, we're back in that.
Of course, right.
Yeah. All right. I would be telling them that they didn't feel that Tom Thibodeau developed the bench enough and is a good enough developer of young talent on a roster.
Fair criticism.
That would be fair, and that would be a reason to say we want a guy that does that better, and then hopefully you'll get a guy that does that better. But to say that he was out-coached by a team that very well could win the NBA Finals, could win the championship this year. I mean, they're in it right now. It's tied 1-1. They're coming back home. Let's see how this thing turns out. But the better Indiana does, the dumber that looks. And Rick Carlisle is a guy who has a ring. He won one in Dallas, and he's a veteran coach who's been around forever, just like Tibbs. And he, I mean, if I were to assess the coaching in that series, advantage Carlisle. I mean, they won the series. It typically goes to the team that wins. But I didn't think it was a thorough out coaching. I thought Tibbs had moments too. Let's not forget how the Knicks came back in games against the Pacers too. So I didn't really see that. And that's not something. Style would be one reason to fire Thibodeau, just the style of play, the lack of use of his bench. Those would be two reasons if you were going to fire the guy. I just don't understand how you fire a guy who wins 50-50 and gets you to the conference finals and has taken you a step each of the last 3 years, a step further, closer to the end goal. But you don't think he can get you across the finish line. Well, that's fine. Then who's the guy that you were flagging that you said, we can get rid of Tibbs now because, hey, Pat Riley's over there, whoever it is. Like I said, the Patino-Riley metaphor, I think, or comparison is a really ample one. Pacino was a terrific coach to the Knicks. He got the Knicks back to a place they hadn't been in a long time, the playoffs. But it was the idea that Pat Riley was out there and available that really made it possible for the Knicks to make that move. And nobody was squawking in New York when they made that move because it was very clear why they did it. And wow, that guy's out there. And yeah, this guy's pretty good, but that guy's great. Go get the great guy. Who's that guy right now? That's the problem with how the Knicks have done this and when the Knicks have done this. Oh, Ime Udoka's that guy. Oh, except you can't just go hire Ime Udoka because he's coaching a team that just finished as a 2 seed in the Western Conference and he's under contract. That's your plan? That's your plan. You got to get permission. Then that guy has to want to come there, and then you got to give him the fat check that's going to lure him there to want to come there. And we'll have to give up some assets too. None of it makes any sense. This is a terrible job so far by the Knicks. We'll see how it all ends, but this is a terrible job so far by the Knicks.
And Zach, I'll just jump in real quick because I disagree with Lurch. Lurch said that the further the Pacers make it, the more dumb that statement makes of like outcoach this and that. I disagree. I don't think validation comes that way. I know some people bring it up. Like if I'm the Jets and I lose in the wild card round to the Bills, and then they end up winning the Super Bowl, I don't pat myself on the back. Go, well, at least we lost a Super Bowl chance. Because anything can happen in sports. Who knows if the Knicks would have won or the Pacers would have done this? Does it guarantee this success? Everything is its own world. Not everything is just interconnected in that way. The Pacers could they may have found a spark in that and may do something that they weren't going to do initially because of the momentum that was built. So I'm not so sure those two things are perfectly aligned.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, there's a lot of other stuff. Have you guys been watching the Stanley Cup Finals at all?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Nice. Yeah, Boy Green, that surprises me. I know you're not the biggest hockey guy in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to dabble. So, yeah, I saw the first two games. The first one went to overtime. The second one went to double overtime. And then I believe game 3 is like a 6-1 win by the Florida Panthers. So, yeah, I've been dabbling. Zach, I'm sure you'd be proud, man.
Have either one of these teams stood out to you? Do you have a preference on who wins?
Well, Zach, you're the
perfect at answers because I brought this up to Lurch and he thought this was stupid. So I want to bring it up to you, Zach. You're a professional hockey guy. You've been traded before. Okay, you're Zach Matiasek, for goodness sake. Here's the thing. I've heard people say this. You tell me whether you think this is dumb or whatever your reaction. So there is a social media buzz, whatever you want to call it, that they're not rooting for the Florida Panthers because there's no ice in Florida. So they say it doesn't make any sense. So why would we be rooting for Florida? That's Florida. That's hot and stuff. They don't represent hockey. It's Edmonton. It's the Oilers. There's that. Is that stupid? What's your reaction? Have you heard any of that noise? I've heard that since last year.
I don't know. I know they're trying to grow the game down south a lot. So I know they did like a big all-star thing. They took it down to Florida one year and it was not very well liked. It was like they did this big like skills competition on the beach and they were shooting pucks at targets at a dunk tank. It was goofy. So I'm personally not a huge fan of it. That's not really my style. Bring the little synthetic ice board to the beach and do that. But
so screw the Florida Panthers is what you're saying.
I think it's just coincidence that the Panthers are really good now. They're finally starting to invest money and build a good team. But
that's how you really feel, pal.
Who's your pick? Who's your pick in this one? Who you like?
I'd rather see the Oilers win, but I think
me too. But you think the Panthers? So we're on the same page.
I think they're going to win again.
There you go.
What is it about the Panthers? I was talking a little bit about it yesterday. It feels like they have a grit. They remind me a little bit of a couple of years ago when the Lightning had that little run and they had that mix of players.
Won a couple of finals.
Really kind of glue. They're kind of really gelled well together. Do you see the same thing with the Panthers, or is it a different formula? Because you're the hockey guy. Let's let you do the hockey analysis here.
I think the Panthers. I think they have like good chemistry. I think they're a really tight knit group.
Yes.
They all talk about it. Matthew Tkachuk's the biggest advocate for that, hanging out and whatever. But I think they're a team they're just built for the playoffs. I think their style of hockey is just like that's the new dynamic of the game. Like Brindamore said it after the Hurricanes lost. He was like, that's the new model right there is the Florida Panthers model. And it's just,
and what is that model? Like you say style of hockey. So define that for us. What is that playoff style of hockey precisely? What is it that the Panthers do?
They like to mix it up. They like to get in your face. They like to talk their trash. They don't make it easy for you. Everything's really, really hard, 100%. And yeah, you don't sit back. You're always on the gas pedal. It's like the Carolina Hurricanes was just shoot. But the Panthers, they'll hem you in, they'll make you work for it, and nothing ever comes easy. So that's the kind of way you got to play in the playoffs.
So it's kind of the physical nature.
You got to punch him in the mouth first, kind of way, and that's how the Panthers play.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, what else you got, Zach?
What else do I got? Well, there's a lot. We could talk about the NBA Finals, I guess. We haven't touched on that one too much.
Right. Okay. I understand. Oh, yes.
That was a cue. That was a cue.
I understand.
Talk about the NBA Finals.
I gotta pick up on your cues better, Zach. Sorry, you threw me an assist, and I'm like, what do I do with this? Is this a hockey stick? Sorry about that. No. Yeah. So again, here's my fear from earlier. I said it. So game 1, Pacers won. I'm like, okay, this was what needed to happen. Oklahoma. If we take a step back, Oklahoma City is the awesome team. They have the MVP. They kick butt all year. Their defense is incredible. And it was them and the Celtics back and forth. We could flip a coin of who people believe was going to win the championship and be the best team in basketball. So they're here. Everyone expected them to be here. They're kicking butt and doing all these kinds of wonderful things. So Pacers, a lot of people didn't get Vegas odds and all that, did not give Indiana a lot of hope or chances to have a chance to win this thing. So when Indiana won game 1, I'm like, yes, awesome. Now, hopefully we can get a series here of things happening because OKC obviously is going to get theirs. We sometimes say that like in a football game or a basketball game or something. We're playing against somebody and we're like, okay, that guy's good. He's going to get his. There's nothing we can do. But how do we react to the rest of it? So OKC was obviously going to be winning games and making things happen. For Indiana, man, to win game 3 tonight and to go up 2-1 and guarantee you at least get 6, you just keep putting the pressure on Oklahoma City Thunder because they go on cruise control and they're doing these blowout wins. They've had a ton of blowout wins during these NBA playoffs. I'm just a little nervous with what I saw from the vibe in game 2 that they're about to gentlemanly sweep the Indiana Pacers, and it's just going to be a bloodbath, and they're just going to win the next 3, and it's not going to be close. I hope that's not true. I don't want it to be true. I want it to be a good series. As someone who has no skin in the game, with unfortunately my team long since out, that's what I'm rooting for. But I'm going to be honest. If I'm being straight, I think Oklahoma City wins this. This series is coming 4-1. That's what I believe.
Well, I'm looking at. I just popped up to my app to look at the current odds.
Sure. Okay.
Now that we're 2 games in and we're about to play game 3 in Indiana tonight, the OKC Thunder are minus 525 to win the NBA title.
I'm not surprised.
You can get the Pacers right now to win the series, to win the championship at plus 400. Okay,
and it's 1v1.
Still, the faith is strongly on one side. As we're and what did the Pacers do? They now have home court. They split the first 2.
They did.
And they now have moved home court into their favor. And they still are not even being close to being favored.
What does that say? What does that
tells
say?
You about public confidence. That's why I say these guys keep having whiteboard material, Boy Green. I mean, this is like the best fodder you could have as a coach. Look, fellas, look at what Vegas thinks today. Oh, God, they still think we stink. Let's just keep proving everybody wrong. We always say that us against the world mentality. The Pacers are going to be us against the world until this thing is over. All right, I know we're overdue for a break, so let's get one here, and then we'll take a timeout. Zach, thank you for a little water cooler action there. I think we're just going to close it out here on our own so that you can kind of be back there and be studio guys. So thank you, Zach.
Thanks, Zach.
We'll say goodbye to Zach, and we're going to take a break, and we'll come back with more of the Manchild Show with Boy Green on the Score 1260, score1260.com, and the Score 1260 app, and right here on the Manchild Show with Boy Green Digital.
1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Hey, 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 it's Bud and the Manchild.
All right, we are back. Manchild Show with Boyd Green and the MC Show digital platform. You can get us on our YouTube channel. If you haven't already, subscribe. Go to YouTube and search out MC Show Digital and just hit the little subscribe button. You can even get alerts. Hit that little bell. All right, you see it on the bottom of our screen here, too, on our StreamYard feed. So feel free right there. But words point to it. There we are on X. You get our little handles on X and Facebook and Instagram. And then, of course, don't forget our YouTube channel. So go subscribe today. It's a fun little ditty, and we're going to be doing lots of things outside of our regular radio show parameters on the digital platform. So it's a great place to get more acquainted, dare I say, with me and Boyd Green in the world of digital. All right, welcome back. We're live from Play It Again Sports Syracuse. As you can see, we're not in our normal studio environment. We are here among the sporting goods. We've got barbells in front of us and lacrosse sticks to our right.
Yeah, there you go.
Man, enough weights for Arnold Schwarzenegger and his entire.
I saw you working out earlier during
that
Sean Hines interview I was doing. I saw you pumping iron. That's very nice.
Yes, I was. Yeah. Well, I figured I'd burn off a little bit of steam while you guys are doing that interview. But yeah, I just really got a ton of weightlifting and weight gear. So if anybody's looking for anything from a medicine ball to big 50-pound dumbbells, I can't even turn one of those. All right. All other different levels of dumbbells, both for men and for women. He's got the cowbells as well. And then he's got lots of free weights and bench presses. So if you want to, take yourself home a bench press, you can do that as well. There's a lot of fitness gear here at the store. So a great place for all of that. So come on down again in the DeWitt Town Plaza on Erie Boulevard, good old Syracuse, New York. And come check out Play It Again Sports. You can save some money and bring your gear, your older gear here, and they will take it from you and hopefully give you some cash or some store credit for it, which is phenomenal. But you can walk out with cash. I told Boyd Green, I got some spending money for our big Pittsburgh trip coming up by turning in some of my old golf clubs and play it again. Me love it. Me love it. All right. Get me an extra. I want to get one of those wine slushies at PNC Park, Boyd Green.
Okay.
I know you're not much of a drinker.
I'm not. No.
But and neither am I really. But I had the wine slushie. They have it in 3 different flavors. There.
Oh wow.
Oh my! It was to die for.
Oh, so you're gonna get one in all 3 flavors?
I don't know if I could do that. They're pretty pricey, but but maybe turning in those golf clubs would get me at least one of those
wine
slushies.
Okay,
I'm telling you, I think it was. I'm sorry, I'm going to blast these people at the stadium in Pittsburgh because it is a wonderful, wonderful place to go.
How much are we talking?
I think it was between $15 and $20.
What?
For a singular wine slushie. But I can tell you, I savored that thing, man.
Well, I hope so.
I slipped that thing like, just this little sip by
Savor
sip. It was so good, though. It was so good. So, again, every once in a while you get to splurge, and ballparks certainly are a place where many of us get gouged price-wise.
Yeah.
But it's, we don't get to do it that often, especially as fans. So it'll be nice to just, dare I say, splurge a little bit. So there goes that money on the golf clubs, Boyd Green, right over to the wine slushy bar where the Manchild will be hanging out there in the outfield at PNC Park. You can find me right in front of there, parked in front of there.
Okay, we'll do.
Most of the game when we're up there in a couple of weekends. All right. I don't know. We got just a little bit of mop-up duty before we get out of here. I know we got to still squeeze in one more break. So let's do this. Let's take the break first. Okay, and then we will come back and we will kind of wrap this thing up from the Play It Again Sports here into it. All right, so break here. We'll come back. One more segment to go. We'll wrap things up. Manchild Show with Boyd Green right here on the Score 1260, score1260.com, and the Score 1260 app.
Hey, 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 it's Bud and the Manchild. Hey, 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 it's Bud and the Manchild. Hey, 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 it's Bud and the Manchild. Bringing you the best in sports, talking about the ups and downs. Take it to a higher level, turn up the sound. Hey, 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 it's Bud and the Manchild. 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 Bringing you the best in sports, talking about the ups and downs. Take it to a higher level, turn up the sound. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Hey, 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 it's Bud and the Man-Child. 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 Bringing you the best in sports talk.
All right, we are back. Manchild Show with Boy Green, live from Play It Again Sports here in DeWitt Town Plaza in good old Syracuse, New York. And we're kind of getting ready to say goodbye here on our digital format as well. MC Show Digital. Boy Green, we've got, I don't know, about 45 seconds or so to go. Final thoughts, if you have any, my friend. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to give a big shout out to Sean Hines here at Play It Again Sports Syracuse. It's great to have him on the show. Fun interview for sure. Being here, seeing all the customers, Bill the Produce Guy, Jamie the FedEx Guy, and so many others on our social media platforms on Instagram, YouTube, and everywhere else. It was a lot of fun, Lurch. We got to do it again soon.
So we're excited. It's a great, great place to be, and we'll be out here some more. And come out and check out the store. A lot of people here in the store, especially when we first got on the air. Tons of people mulling around. All right, I guess we're in the closed music here, as they say, Boy Green. So as they say, it's so glad we had this time together. So we will say a nice hearty goodbye to all of you. Thanks for tuning in on our digital platform. Thanks to all of you on the radio. We'll be back in the studio tomorrow. As they say, same bad time, same bad channel. Take care.
All right, beautiful. Lurch, we could say goodbye here on the video platform real quick.
Yes,
So everybody, again, I want to give a big shout out. Thank you to everyone on Instagram at MC Show Digital. I see we have so many people in here. We had Rob in here. We had Mike Nikoski, who's part of our fantasy league, and a bunch of other you out there.
Thank you, guys. It's great, great to see some people.
Thanks for Instagram. And again, make sure you guys subscribe. Like the video, hit subscribe. We're sometimes doing these radio, video simulcasts. We're going to be also moving forward, Lurch, doing a bunch of these where it's just purely video. StreamYard will be the only way that we're broadcasting these shows. So I want to give a special shout out to everyone that joined us. And again, like the video, hit subscribe so you guys never miss anything. I helped Jamie the FedEx guy yesterday set it up. It's super easy. You guys can subscribe to the channel for free. Hit that bell notification so you guys never miss a video. Whether it's Rob King, you interviewed the Steelers radio play-by-play voice, or I interviewed Alex Kazora. We've had Dick Scott on this. It's been a lot of fun, Lurch.
All right, fantastic. So again, subscribe to our channel. We'd love for you to do that. Thanks for all of you that did tune in today. And remember, exclusive content right here, MC Show Digital, our YouTube channel. Click the subscribe button. All right, folks, signing off from Play It Again Sports here. Take care. Peace out.